So really, I am going by myself. Sylvia's not gonna come? Damn it! What fun is it when if there's no one to help me out? It was now totally dark. The forest looked totally different at night. Mischievous shadows were hiding behind the trees, strange rustlings, and the cries of the night birds coming from everywhere, every branches under my feet. Full moon was shining, so I decided to save the battery in the flashlight. I'm sure I'll need it sometime soon. The further I moved in, the more unpleasant my thoughts came to my head. I wasn't afraid of the dark at all. I didn't believe in ghosts or any other mystical crap. But at the same time, during the last few days, I've encountered many incomprehensible phenomena that, against my own will, I tried to read between the lines of the simplest things. Obviously, I felt exponentially uneasy about the forest. Everywhere I looked, the shadows, even the trees, the bushes, wild creatures escaped from a Stephen King novel. Sorry, read faster there. Oh, matter of fact, I'm going to take a quick break and refill my drink. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I'm starting to wonder if eating the apple had an adverse effect to the story this far. Oh well. A branch seemed to eager shoulder a fallen leg. Yep, we're getting spooked. If I had found myself in the forest under any other circumstance without these bushes and pioneer camp, of course, I'd still feel uncomfortable, but then I would be able to explain everything with logic and being afraid of nothing except owls and mice, of course. Of course, we're all afraid of owls. But at the moment, there were enough reasons to fear. Despite all this, I reached the old camp without any adventures. Ellipses was my only companion. Because someone didn't want to follow me. Damn sexy Sylvia. In a little glade surrounded by the trees stood a house resembling a kindergarten. Paint peeled off the walls. Almost all the windows were broken. Broken masonry here and there. Holes in the roof that looked like they were made from a bombing. In front of the building was a little garden with tomatoes and other stuff, surrounded by a rusty fence. Apparently once it was a playground with a merry-go-round, swing, slides, and other Soviet attractions. But time is a cruel mistress. All of them were broken and mutilated by corrosion. The grass was so tall that it almost came up to my waist. The sun suddenly came out. The moon looked out from behind the clouds and illuminated the old camp. It seemed like everything came back to life. Windows, stones with new glass, and walls looked like they'd been painted with a fresh paint of blood. Sorry. I heard playful laughter, saw translucent children running around, frolicking in the yards. A strict camp leader at the threshold holding a basket with ripe apples in her hand. The old cleaning lady taking a nap in the shade. It sent chills down my spine. Of course, my imagination was just playing tricks on me, but the old camp itself seemed so similar to all the post-apocalyptic pictures I've seen. Apocalyptic? Yeah, that there's no surprise. I stood undecided for a long time before I dared to go further. After all, I'm here to find Shirk alone. Though I still don't get what he might be doing here, even if he is here. A boot somewhere nearby doesn't mean anything. However, if he was not eaten by wolves, for some reason it seemed that there were no wolves in the forest, but this only a place where he might be hiding. I carefully... Oh, sorry, my watch was telling me that it's dying. There you go, I took it off. Carefully crossed the yard, past the control, got bumped into the metal fence. But I stopped in the doorway, hesitating. An impenetrable heavy darkness stared back at me from inside. Even the brightest moonlight could not illuminate any object or even highlight a silhouette. My head was filled up with different thoughts that all said that it'd be better for me to not go any further and to run away quickly. But I pulled myself together, turned on the flashlight, and stepped over the threshold. Inside the building looked like the typical kindergarten. I still remember my childhood days, and so everything here looked very familiar. Sleeping rooms, lined with beds, standing close to each other, a large playroom, toilets, dining rooms, and utility rooms. Signs of past children's joy were everywhere. From time to time, the flashlight drew my attention to a decaying doll or a plastic toy car, or a punctured rubber ball, or a broken rank of tin soldiers. There was a book on a table, faded with age. I flipped through a few pages. It said, "You're meant to be here." Ah! It was a story I had read a long time ago, back in my childhood. Something about the war. Enemies destroyed the kindergartens and all of its kind. Kids hid in the basement together with a bunch of adults while bombs were exploding on the surface. I don't remember the end of the story, but pretty sure it wasn't good. Looking at the illustrations, all the emotions, fear, sadness, sympathy, and the poor children and the sense of hopelessness which I had experienced while reading the books came over me. It's strange that under exactly these conditions, right here and now, that I found this book. Probably there's someone who manages this ongoing story, who writes the scenario for this obscure play, who sews costumes for local pioneers and creates sets of this abandoned camp. Yes, it's Soviet Games. They're the guys who made this game. To tell the truth, he is very... Attention is paid to even the most minor... Yes. Oh, way to go. Although this place was abandoned a long time ago, everything here seems to be untouched. Of course, time didn't spare this camp. In so many years, it had often been visited by locals. A perfect place for young people just hitting puberty. They could drink alcohol, indulge in pleasures of the flesh, or simply burn everything down just for fun. Electronic mentioned that this place was full of legends. Legends of ghosts, devils living here. Take, for example, the story of the camp leader who committed suicide. In my world, no one would believe that it could stop somebody, but in this reality, anything's possible. Certainly, the fear didn't disappear, but I decided that since I came here, I was going to carry this out to the end. As I bumped the mic stand. Sorry about that. The building was small, so it wasn't difficult to search it completely, but I didn't find any sign of Shirk. Maybe I should just call out to him. Shirk. But on the other hand, maybe that's not such a good idea. Frustrated, I sat on a bench lobby and sighed. Ghosts, where are you? I asked the camp. And all of a sudden I noticed a strange depression in the corner. right there. A small trap door. An adult would barely be able to squeeze through it. And it seemed to me that it had been recently opened as the dust around it was cleared. And so here's the part where I need to be scared. So Shirk went somewhere. What might be lurking beneath the trap door? A basement? What would he be doing there? I pulled the hatch open, pointed the flashlight, and jumped into the darkness. There was a ladder going down, so I shouldn't have jumped, entering the floor. There was a low, narrow corridor disappearing into darkness. I hesitated for a long time. On the one hand, I had absolutely no desire to go down there, but on the other hand, if Shirk was really down there, I swallowed loud and began to descend. Downstairs, it was so dark that even the flashlight didn't help much. A low ceiling extended along the walls, broken lamps, clad iron bars. Again, there's supposed to be a female right next to me here. Lena came with me. Damn you, Sylvia, you broke my heart. Also, where I slowly started to move deeper into the dungeon. The path went down a few dozen meters, ended at the stairways with high steps. I stood and I found myself in a massive metal door. In front of a massive metal door. There was a sign painted on it. I looked closely and realized that it was a biohazard sign. No wonder, if the old camp was built during after the war, and it lasted until the 70s. So it's an ordinary bomb shelter, and there's nothing to be afraid of. However, those thoughts made me even more scared. I made a decision to open the door. Again by myself, which immediately shut, and a sharp sound as soon as I stepped through the doorway. I shrugged strongly and my hands began to tremble. My vision dimmed. I regained consciousness after a few seconds, and only then did I realize that apparently the strong spring was attached to the door. I found myself in quite a spacious room. I decided to live here instead. A beam of flashlight could a bunk bed, some cabins along the wall, and several devices of unknown purpose located in the far corner. It seemed that this bomb shelter has never been used. Well, unless it was bombed, yeah. No one ever came here. The beds were made, which is strange in itself. I carefully looked around the room several times. The cabins were filled with gas masks, chemical protection chutes, dry rations, various domestic odds and ends. The device which I at first determined to purpose were gauges of radiation, air pressure, and temperature. In short, it was a typical bomb shelter. I'd never been in such a place before, but it was how I imagined it. The only thing that remained unexplored was the door at the far end of the room. Over here? I pulled the handle, but the door remained closed. If someone recently came down here, he wasn't fond of this room, then it'd be logical to assume that he is behind this door. I called out in a whisper. Shirk? No reply. Maybe he locked himself out. But why? It was unclear what I should do next. Perhaps it would be smarter to come back tomorrow with help, but for some reason I had a feeling that behind this door I would find answers that can't wait to be found. I walked across the room, took the crowbar, and did my best Gordon Freeman impersonation. Wedged it at the bottom of the door and ripped the hinges. Oddly enough, after a while, I did just that. Fortunately, it wasn't as massive as the previous door. And it crushed me to death. The end. The door gave way, slammed on the floor. I took a deep breath, pointed the flashlight down the passage, and began to walk forward. A corridor vanished into darkness, the same as the one which brought us here. Ellipses agreed that they drew the same picture. The walls were closing in. My head almost touched the ceiling, but I could not make out the end of the corridor. Walking carefully, looking around, this was the reason I did not fall into the pit. The hole was about 1.5 meters in diameter. There was an earth at the bottom of it instead of concrete. It seemed like the hole was created by an explosion. It wasn't too deep. I could easily climb out later. After I jumped into the hole, I found myself in something that resembled an old mine. The walls of the ceiling were reinforced with wooden beams. The tunnels was so long that my flashlight was insufficient. Ellipses started to walk ahead of me. This part again. I love this part because this part is fun. Let me get my notes out somewhere. Okay. Wow. Huh? Are you kidding me? Oh wow, this is interesting. This is quite literally, I picked up a piece of paper here on the side, and it looks to be the notes from last time I did this. Wow, I don't clean up my desk that often if these are the notes from the last time I played this game. Anyways, a few minutes later, I found myself at a crossroad. It's too dangerous to go any further, I could get lost. So I decided that it'd be a good idea to mark somewhere on the, okay, so if this is what I think it is, let me follow its previous path. So I believe that's a left first. I think I end up just determining that this doesn't matter. So yep, left, right, I want to go right again, then go left, then go right, then go left, then go right. Hey! Okay, so that wasn't on the map, so that means this map is useless, or that this is completely random. One last door appeared in the darkness. I opened and went inside to see a small room. No one was here except... Oh, well this is different. Shirk, who sat in the corner. Shirk! He stared at me. His eyes were full of terror. Ah! Don't come near me! Shirk, it's me, it's Simon. Believe in the me who believes in you. I won't give up so easily. He grabbed a piece of reinforced bar from behind his back and started waving it around like he just didn't care. Shirk, what's wrong with you? Calm down, man. I didn't sleep with an electronic, I swear. First you bring me here, then you take me through that mine, and now you're pretending to be Simon? He must have gone completely nuts. Shirk, calm down. No one's pretending to be me. I really am me. I tried to talk calmly as I could, but almost feeling nervous, more nervous than him. Simon? He squinted. See, if I had a girl, when I was here with Lena, he still attacked me. Then again, I spent hours lost in the mine. Yes, now tell me what happened. How did he get here? Shirk recovered his breath and started to talk. I needed some parts for a robot, and I heard that this is a bomb shelter, that there's a bomb shelter in the old camp, and that there could be some instruments there. So I got up in the morning and went. He stopped for a moment, trying to deal with the trembling of his hand. I found suitable parts, then I read primal fear in his eyes. The voices, they told me to go here. I went down into the mine. They were telling me to go right, then left, then right, then left, then right, then left. He started to laugh hysterically even. But now they won't get me. I'm sitting here. They won't find me here. He once again started to wave his pipe in the air. Shirk, there's no one there. I wasted quite a lot of time walking here in the mine like you, but didn't hear any voices. He fixed his eyes on me. Then you're with them. Okay, he still attacks me with a... Shirk rushed towards me. I was just able to dodge. But the flashlight wasn't lucky. He took the full force of Shirk's blow. We found ourselves in a complete darkness. Just the feel of our two bodies against each other. What? Now, it's my turn to lose my mind. What have you done, you idiot? I lashed out with my hands in the direction where I expected Shirk to be, but to no avail. Now we will both die here. I got nothing but silence in return. Then, quiet laughter, hysterical. It's all right. It's fine. I know where the exit is. Follow me. Follow you where? I can't see a damn thing. Follow my voice. I had no choice. Here it is. Shirk's voice was heard somewhere further on. How do you know where to go? I've walked all over here. 5 times, in fact. Then why didn't you exit before? Then, yes, see, exactly. The voices. Quiet, shh, they can hear us. In theory, I could only believe that there are some supernatural forces here in Seattle's camp, that is just a daily occurrence. But there is no reason to panic yet, though my hands were shaking non-stop. Here it is. I slowly followed his voice and eventually lost track of time. We could have been roaming for a few minutes or a few hours. Finally, a dim light appeared in the distance. We're here. Okay, we reached the wall. The way towards freedom was blocked by a lattice in the ceiling. I pulled myself up and recognized the square from the bits in the landscape and could see. Lift me up! Shirk obediently followed my request. I started to hit the grates with my fists so hard that just a few strikes on my arms were all covered in blood. But in return, the grates gave away without pushing open. A minute later, we are out on the surface behind the monument of Gendo. When I saw things gathering before, I had no idea. Catacombs below it. Oh, I see. They will come for you. I fell to the ground exhausted. Who? They will come. Shirk said again and ran away. I was so exhausted that I couldn't be bothered thinking about some voices or recalling that forsaken camp, the bomb shelter, or the mine, or the fact that no one came with me. Sylvia, I thought you were better than that. Almost unconscious, I reached the camp leader's cabin, but I couldn't go to bed right away. Well, look who's here. Olga, I said tiredly, attempting to cut the explanation to a minimum. You said you were going for a walk, but instead, and I was going to call the police, and Olga, can this wait till tomorrow? I am really, really tired. The camp leader eyed me over. Okay, fine. I was a bit surprised that she agreed so fast, but declared not to waste this opportunity and quickly turned the light off and dove under the covers. The owl? Did anyone hear that owl? Day 5. Wasn't there someone standing next to me last time? Oh, well. We ran so far away. Save game. We'll save the game today so we can play tomorrow. Save game. So there we go. This time I ate the apple, which probably was a bad idea in hindsight. No one came with me to save Shirk. Shirk is crazy now. He wasn't crazy last time we saved him. Well, he was, but he forgot what was happening. The voices, they will come for me, he said. And also we got to see Electronic in his Slimmies. So there you go. There's the owl. There's the gallery. So I have a new picture. Not a picture I was looking for, but I have a new one. See, look, Lena was there, and there's Electronic. See, that wasn't there. Oh, what's happening? And there's that picture. So does that mean each one of these pictures? So let's see. The option was Lena, which we have, Sylvia, Alice, and was there Go By Ourselves? So Sylvia, Alice, maybe Ulsa was the other one? Or if we choose to go by ourselves, would Olga follow us? Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. So that's interesting that the choices you made before. Okay, yeah. So the pictures are still here. So these are still the uncensored pictures. Anyways, so yeah, the choices you made before are highlighted in a way so that you know what you did do before. That's interesting. Didn't know that. So that'll help me in the future. But I don't know if just doing the opposite of what I did before actually worked out. Again, I am trying for Sylvia, but I don't think I'm doing well. I think I'm getting the general bad ending, maybe. Who knows? You guys probably do, and you're laughing at what will happen. Anyways, I'll end the video here. So again, there's another day. I'll continue to play this because I'm curious to see what happens. Especially, I think this game is aware that I played it before, in that you get a different stuff each time. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been drinking a lot and just rambling incoherently. Anyways, so I'll end the video here. So as always, any input is appreciated. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know down below if you're still watching this and if you still want me to continue, and any suggestions on what you like to see me play. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.